Greetings, fellow humans. This is Pat Callahan from All White Tukey. You're listening to another great podcast on the Four-Eyed Radio Network. Yeah.
Hi, this is Steve O'Mooney from the Four-Eyed Radio Network. Now, one of our great sponsors on our show is Amazon.com. Go to thesasquatch.net, click on the Amazon banner, and shop like you normally do. We'll get a little taste if you do. So that again, check out thesasquatch.net and click on our Amazon.com banner. Thank you for your support. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Longbox Cast. Yes, I know we've been on hiatus, but of course the entire network's kind of on hiatus because it's that holiday season. This will probably be our last show of 2014, so we'll try to make a huge bang out of the park, and maybe Kyle and I will talk about New Year's resolutions and what we can look forward to next year besides movies that will be coming out, such as Avengers, The Age of Ultron, and maybe some updates, maybe even a teaser trailer of Batman v Superman. I mean, pretty much no one really has too much faith in this movie. I want it to do good, but I have a feeling it's probably going to fall flat on its face because DC does not know how to run their universe, apparently. DC, I'm just going to tell you this. Just copy Marvel. Marvel's doing fine. Just copy them. Just don't feel bad about it. We're not going to judge you. No one's going to judge you. If we judge you, then we're no better than people who hack Sony. Oh, that's right. We were talking about that. Also, we're going to talk about mid-season finale of The Flash. And Kyle will talk about Arrow and the little bit of whatever, I guess, happened at the end. He was talking about it a little before. Seemed kind of disappointing. Let's see if you guys were disappointed. Of course, I'm going to talk about some of the reviews of that Marvel experience that's happening in Scottsdale right now. I'm kind of debating if I really want to buy a ticket or not, because the reviews have not been good. But we'll jump into that. But without further ado, let's strike up with that fantastic music we all love and get this show on the road. Welcome. I did not take myself off mute. I know everybody was happy about that. We are here at the Longbox Cast. I'm, of course, joined by my faithful co-host, my partner in crime. Well, I wouldn't say my partner in crime. I would say my Captain America to my Tony Stark, because apparently a lot of people are calling me Tony Stark now, which I really have no problem with that. I just wish I had all of his money and had that kick-ass suit and could do whatever the fuck I want, because then I think my life would be a lot better. But, yeah, so, you know what? I think I'm going to start calling you Captain.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, cool.
I'm absolutely okay with that.
Of course, before we get started with all this great stuff, of course, you can find us at www.longboxcast, part of the Four-Eyed Radio Network, The Fern. For more information, visit foureyedradio.com. In fact, I actually double-checked that, because I don't think we own any of these things anymore, because it was in another person's name. Then he gave me everything, and then I dropped the ball, like I usually do. So if you can't find us there, just go to www.facebook.com/longboxcast and give us a like. Everybody. Of course, you can listen to us on 4eyeradio.com, Spreaker, iTunes, Stitcher, Zune Marketplace, BlackBerry Podcast, Blueberry Podcast, Mirror Guide, Double Twist, YouTube, Swell Radio, SoundCloud, and Player FM. This podcast is brought to you by Raven Designs. Illustrates and designs that fit your personality. For samples and inquire, visit ravencruise.com, which I believe is going to be updated because I know Raven has just put herself underneath a different name. So we'll check with her. We're trying to get everything pretty much updated, hopefully by next year. Of course, also getting formats back on track and actually doing shows on a regular day basis. Of course, we're also huge supports of Comic Care Comics. Of course, you want to check those out. Go to comiccare.org. That's one word, comic, and then R, kind of like A-R-E. It's kind of like put together, so the C at the end of the comics is also for care. Click on that. That's their Facebook page. Give them a like. Of course, Kyle, if he's looking right now, I'm actually finally wearing my shirt for once. And other than that, let's jump into some news. I think we'll jump into like the big things that happen. Of course, all shows going off the air, mid-season finale, and can I just say, ha! How did I guess that with Beth?
Yeah.
Anyways, we're all saddened by that. We're all saddened by Beth leaving. I know she was very upset if everybody caught the talking dead on that, but I really thought Rick was going to fly off the handle. In fact, I think Rick should have just murdered everybody in the hospital.
I thought Daryl was going to do it, you know?
No. Daryl has kind of shown conviction lately. I mean, he was the one that kind of talked, Rick not doing Rick's plan, which honestly I think we did Rick's plan. Beth would probably still be with us, but Tyrese, I'm going to say you kind of dropped the ball with your whole I'm a Buddha now, and I don't think violence is the answer. I hate to break it to you. Violence is the answer in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, definitely. But I kind of laugh at how we kind of almost called the whole Beth being killed thing.
Yeah, I know. It was just funny.
And we said that she was going to be like running into her sister's arms and then blam, dead right in front of her. I mean, we're kind of close.
Yeah.
I just kind of... It just sucks that this whole time she hasn't seen her sister since, and she still doesn't get to see her sister.
Yeah, it's kind of sucks. So, I mean, of course, next season, I'm pretty sure they'll have a nice little funeral for her. And all that jazz.
We also got Everybody Hates Chris on the show now, so...
Yeah, we'll see how... But this is what I'm saying. They won't kill him off until they actually start making us care for this child, so that's usually how it works. See, right now, the Reverend, he's going to stay there for... I guarantee this guy's going to last until next season, because everybody right now fucking hates him. So, but...
well, I mean, as far as I know, he's still alive in the comics. I haven't actually read the comics in a while. I know I'm bad at that, but... last I read, he was still alive, so...
Okay.
Yay?
Yeah. No, we'll see. I mean, of course, again, they won't... We won't start liking people. Like, once they start making us like these people, that's when we know, okay, who's going to die next. So, surprisingly, though, they did kill off Lori, considering how everybody fucking hated that woman in that show. But we'll talk about...
this past season...
Was it what?
Sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say, a lot of people I've been reading on Twitter saying that they didn't really care for Beth that much, mostly because her story arc just kind of sucked.
Well, you know what really sucks is Beth was kind of one of those characters, especially when she came in. She was kind of one of those background characters. It wasn't until pretty much kind of a little bit last season and this season she finally started coming into her own, and then they kill her off. So.
Yeah. It wasn't until she started teaming up with Daryl that actually made her like a main character, but...
Yeah, I mean, but then that usually what happens, I guess, as soon as people start coming to their own, you start liking their background, seeing what's she going to do, and then they kill her off. But speaking of other mid-season finales that happen, now, of course, I know we're a little bit behind because we took a week off, and again, this will be our last show for 2014. But, of course, we have the Flash mid-season finale and Arrow's mid-season finale. Now, Flash mid-season finale, of course, we finally got to witness the man in the yellow suit. Of course, we all know him as Fawn, or Professor Zoom, or the Reverse Flash, as people have been calling him. He goes by many names, and I think he's probably one of the best villains that the Flash has, meaning of that's pretty much just a copy of him, because they've done that before. I mean, there's Bizarro Superman, and he's okay. He's kind of the same thing, but he's not as quick-witted and everything like that. This is, one of those opponents that is really, I would say not as even as equal as the Flash, or maybe even stronger than the Flash. Because he's not like an idiot. He's not cocky or anything like that. He is, he's physically fit. He knows how to use his powers, and he's also a fucking genius. So it's a really big, thing to come up against the Flash. So far, so good. What did you think? What did you think of his reveal finally?
I'm a little confused by it, actually, because we saw the two people in the same place together, and I don't know how he pulled it off. I have a theory, but again, I'm not too sure.
Well, I want you to dive into your theory, because your one theory you said actually came to fruition at the end of the show. which I thought was kind of clever. As soon as it happened, I was like, "Oh, Kyle, I like where your head's at with this." Yes, I am very confused too, because of course, when we finally saw the Reverse Flash, we saw the guy who was in the wheelchair, which I assumed was Professor Zoom, the Reverse Flash, and then there's a part where you see them both, and then even your theory where there was him and even the cop. If we thought the rookie cop who's dating the girl that Barry Allen liked, we also thought he could have been the Reverse Flash, but then pretty much the Reverse Flash. So either this guy knows how to do super fast speed. As ridiculous, or the theory, my theory is unless he's working for the Reverse Flash, the Professor guy, for I don't know whatever reason, but
here's what I think it is. I think the Reverse Flash is from the future. He came back to the past and found his past self, who gave him all the future knowledge and told him how to become himself. But he knows the only way to become himself is by creating Barry Allen. You can't have one without the other.
That's true.
So by creating Barry Allen, you create the Reverse Flash. So the Reverse Flash has to come back in time and help his past self create himself, basically. And to help elude the illusion that it's not Professor Wells as the Reverse Flash, he beats the crap out of himself.
Which now, actually, I'm curious now that you mention that, because I'm trying to remember, how did he look at the end of the episode? He looked like he healed pretty well.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't actually really paying attention to that, but now you mention it, I kind of have to go look that up.
Yeah, that's why, as soon as you said that, I was all like, yeah, I never thought about it, because I already know, Professor Zoom is, he is actually from the future, and he comes back in time. To harass thing. But then there was the cool thing that you mentioned a couple of weeks ago where it was red and yellow blurs flying around Barry Allen's mom. So as soon as you said that, I was like, oh yes, there is that story arc in the comics of the Flashpoint Paradox where Barry Allen actually goes back in time to save his mother. And of course, with doing so, it changes the entire course of the DC universe. Again, if you haven't read the comic or checked out that movie, if you can't track down the comic, I highly recommend the movie because the voice casting that is amazing, artwork is really phenomenal, and it's just a really cool story. It really, actually, if you're not a Flash fan, like you're like, I don't know about the Flash or whatnot, this really makes you respect this character a lot. But yeah, no, I really like it. I can't wait to see what's going to happen because, of course, we're going to get Gorilla Grodd, hopefully it looks like, with a couple of the past episodes. And then, of course, I also like, when is Barry Allen's going to get his ring? Of course, really cool idea is Mark Hamill will be making a cameo in the Flash series, picking up his old character, the Trickster, which I think is funny that they've actually had 3 people so far, or 2 people so far from the original Flash series, such as Barry Allen's father, who played the Flash originally, and also Barry Allen's mother, who played his love interest in the 1990s Flash as well. So,
I like how they're making all these callbacks to the original Flash series. It's a nice touch. I mean, the original Flash series lasted a season.
Yeah, I think a season.
All these callbacks to it, like it's the greatest thing ever, and I'm like, you guys don't have to, but you guys are doing it, and they're doing it in the right way, where it's not being like, hey, this used to be a TV show.
Yes,
it's subtle hints that only true fans would pick up on.
Yeah, no. So I think they're doing a great job with that. So we'll see what happens with the next season or not next season, but the finishing up the first season of the Flash. Of course, we got to see our first look at Firestorm. He kind of, like a lot of people said, he kind of reminds everybody of a Human Torch right now.
Yeah. And I thought was interesting was he kept saying he's not Ronnie Raymond, which means somewhere along the lines, Ronnie and another being merged together. So you got Ronnie's body and some other guy controlling the mind or whatever.
Yes, which is actually how Firestorm's character is in the actual comic books. Also, they did a great take on that character in Batman the Brave and the Bold, if you haven't checked that out, which I believe is on Netflix, so check it out. Yeah. It's very amusing. I like the show. It's very fun. It's a very fun take on Batman.
Yeah, I love how they make the Superman in that, like, from like the 1950s or whatever. It's just hysterical.
Yes. Of course. Now, I guess we'll jump into the mid-season finale of Arrow. Did it leave up to the hype? I know the whole thing was supposed to have a really good cliffhanger. They were finally going to get a chance to see Raj Al Ghul. I know if I don't pronounce it correctly. You know what? I don't think even if I did pronounce it correctly. If anyone's going to jump on me, because no one seems to call us out on shit.
Well, I call him Raish from the, because that's what they called him in the Arkham video games.
Yes, Raish. I believe it's Raish Al Ghul.
Yeah, that's what I've just been doing. I think I used to call him Raz back in the day.
Yeah, I think I used to say Raz Al Ghul, and actually I think in one of the episodes of Batman Beyond is a great thing with Terry McGinnis. He actually says Raz Al Ghul, and then Batman literally turns around and just goes, is Raish. Like he corrected him on it, and it's like, yeah, that's kind of fun. So, anyways,
nice.
Give us some of the bulletin points and yay or nay.
All right, I mean, it was still good. I loved it. I just wish that they wouldn't. I would just wish the CW didn't hype it for like this big battle between Oliver and Ra's al Ghul. It was literally the last 10 to 5 minutes of the episode of them fighting. The first 50 minutes of the whole show, besides commercials and whatnot, is just Oliver saying his goodbyes, because basically Ra's demands the killer of his daughter's lover's killer or whatever. So basically Sarah, who was dating Ra's daughter, she got killed. Ra's wanted the killer. Oliver didn't know who the killer was, but we find out in the episode it was actually Thea, his sister. Apparently, Malcolm Merlyn had brainwashed her into killing her, and she doesn't remember anything. Oliver refused to turn in his sister, so he was like, I'm the killer. So, like, okay, you have 12 hours to say your goodbyes and meet us at the top of this mountain. So he says his goodbyes to everyone, tells Roy, just look after the city, it's kind of cool. And finally, the last 10 minutes of the episode, he gets up there and they fight. And Oliver was holding his own for a little bit, and in the end, he got stabbed in the chest. And then he got kicked off a mountain.
So he's coming back, right?
Well, there's a lot of, apparently a few people made some fan art of Oliver coming out of the Lazarus pit.
I was about to say Lazarus pit.
And I guess Stephen Amell, the guy who plays Oliver, was like, damn, you guys figured that out real quick.
Hello, Steven. I don't want to. He's a smart guy and everything. But we're comic book fans. We're gonna figure it out. I mean, as soon as you if you had him get stabbed by a completely different supervillain, we have no idea how you would be coming back. But you say Ra's al Ghul, everything comes back to the Lazarus pit. Now the question is, though, is he gonna come back as the normal Oliver Queen, or is he gonna come out corrupted, kind of like one of the Robins did in one of the Batman sagas?
Oh, he's going to come out corrupted for a little bit, and there's going to be things that are going wrong with him, and then eventually they're going to finally tone him down, and he's going to come back to being the way he used to be. But the first episode back, I think what they'll do is they're just going to show what's been going on in the city, of Roy trying to help the city, and Felicity and all them, and then at the very end, Oliver's just going to show back up. So that's my theory.
Also, in other news, apparently Constantine is going to be coming back next year. They're going to give it a new time slot and see how well it does. Honestly, I stopped watching after the second episode, so maybe during the little bit of the holiday break, might jump on Hulu, see if it got any better or whatnot. But I honestly could be like, I don't think this series gonna thrive unless it's like on Netflix or even like a different cable channel.
See, my father-in-law, he watched the next 3 episodes, and he said he just couldn't watch it anymore, so he deleted the rest. So we deleted the rest of them off the DVR box. He just couldn't do it. So I'm like, you know what? If I decide to ever watch it again, I got Hulu Plus now. I just signed up last week, so I'm good to go.
Oh, I didn't know. I would have sent you a thing, and then you would have gotten like a free week or something.
Nah, you always get a free week when you sign up. But
Well, I meant I think you get like an extra. I forget. There was something with friends and family kind of crap that was going on. Anyways, but yeah. So I might give it a shot. I'll try to get through the third episode. Like I'll let you know if I watch the third episode. I'm like, yeah, don't even bother. Like it just doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. I guess.
Oh, I forgot to tell you about Arrow. Ray Palmer, as you know, is in it, and he goes up to Felicity and is like, "Look, I've been developing this suit that'll allow me to shrink to the tiniest, so like the size of the tiniest particle ever, and I want to help save the city, and I want you to be my eyes and ears and whatnot." And she just kind of just goes and says, "Why the hell does this keep happening to me?" But one of the cool things I liked was he shows the prototype of the suit. You only see like a hologram of it. You don't actually see the actual suit yet, which kind of sucks. But he says that it was originally called the OMAC, which stands for OMAX, so any comic book fans would know. Those were the killing robots back during the Infinite Crisis storyline that were trying to just convert people into OMAX themselves. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can Wikipedia it, and you will know what I'm talking about.
Very nice.
And then he says he prefers to call it ATOM a lot better. So I thought that was kind of a nice little Easter egg that apparently no one caught except for me, and I started freaking out. And I'm like, how the hell do people miss that stuff? Maybe it just means an uber geek or something. I don't know.
Well, no, the same thing happened with an episode of Gotham where they introduced pretty much the character who becomes Hush, and also they introduced Black Mask, but no one really jumped on that. Everyone was more concerned about something else that was in the episode, and it was kind of like, oh, that's kind of bizarre, but okay. But I'm guessing that's going to happen. If you're a hardcore comic book fan, you're going to get it. If you're not, it's not really going to matter.
That was like during the crossover event between Flash and Arrow, and the police officer was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you. You were Bart Allen, right?" And he's like, "No, I'm Barry." And I just started laughing. So I'm like, Bart Allen's his grandson in the future. So yeah, again, no one caught that. I'm like, seriously, how do people not catch this stuff?
Well, so I noticed a lot of people who are jumping on these shows are not really comic book fans. As bad as it sounds, as much as I jumped on, I think a couple of cases last week with the whole, women are getting kind of pissed off with women comic books and stuff like that, where it's all like women or not. And I'm like, I hate to bring it to you, and I'm not trying to be sexist or anything like that. It's like, we want you girls to have your comic book movies. They're coming. You're going to hopefully get a Miss Marvel movie, and I'm really hoping it does well, even with the Wonder Woman movie. I want these to do well because I feel that it's the same thing how I feel like the Call of Duties and the games. It's like every time you play an online game, it's like, why can't I pick a female character to play as? I mean, certain games do that, and I feel women, there are female gamers out there, and there are female comic book people out there. And I'm just saying, but certain movies right now, they're pretty much geared towards men, so women are not going to be the main focus of that movie because they're not that's not the comic book for them. Now when you finally get your Wonder Woman movie and you finally get your Miss Marvel movie and stuff like that, which I'm hoping, I mean, last time you guys got your own movie, it was Elektra, and everybody knows it was shit. It was a horrible movie, and you feel bad because Elektra is not a shitty character, neither is Daredevil, but they both got shitty movies.
Yeah, I blame Fox.
I do too.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people, when they announced Phase 3 for the Marvel, a lot of people were pissed off that there was no Black Widow movie. I'm like, come on, people. We all want to see a Black Widow movie, but we still don't get it.
Well, it probably will come when we finally get it, but I mean, I don't think Scarlett Johansson is too worried about it, because she's like, well, I get to be in this movie, I get to be in that movie. She's going to be the next Captain America movie. We probably know she's going to be the next Iron Man movie, which I busted out laughing because Robert Downey Jr. did post something really funny on his Facebook where he posted all the posters for the Iron Man movies, and it just had his symbol on his chest, and he said movie 1, and had the normal version of the chest piece. The movie 2 was the updated one. Then he had the third one. He goes, so in the next one, is it just going to be my bare chest? Because it was removed.
Yeah, because he got that removed.
Which I will say this, I know a lot of people did not like that Iron Man movie, Iron Man 3, but guess what? It also counts as a Christmas movie. So you can watch that this holiday season. But
actually, hold on a second. My wife's in here. I just gotta tell her that because that's just too funny. I have to tell her now.
Oh.
Iron Man 3 counts as a Christmas movie.
No, it doesn't.
She just,
Yes, it does. It takes place during the holidays.
He says, yes, it does. It takes place during the holidays.
because it takes place doesn't mean it's true.
Oh no, what happened? Hello, hello, hello? Oh boy. Okay, everything just went dead on your end. I don't know if it's over here. I'm checking connections. Crap. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Crap. Damn it. Okay, give me a sec. Going to... Yes, okay. Iron Man 3 counts as a Christmas movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you know, she doesn't think so, but I'm going to say it does count.
No, I say it counts. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah,
that would be... Okay, let's put it this way. What else counts? Okay, what counts as a Christmas video game is Batman Arkham Origins, because it takes place during Christmas, so...
I'm not going to argue with that.
Heck, even Batman Returns, that counts as a Christmas movie.
No, that doesn't even count as a movie.
Well, okay, well, yeah. That just hurts. Let's see. So yeah, Iron Man 3. So we thought that was funny, but yeah. So of course, with the whole like Black Widow, I'm pretty sure she'll get a movie. They probably just have to figure it out. I mean, they probably have to see how well Miss Marvel movie does. Because this is the funny part. This is the character you're going to be introducing that nobody knows pretty much anything about, really. Like I would say maybe 50% of people who do not read comic books have probably heard of her.
That's a good estimate right there. But from what I heard, they're actually going to be doing some extra filming for Age of Ultron starting in January. So I have a feeling we're going to get a Carol Danvers cameo. For those who don't know who that is Miss Marvel that we are talking about. Or Captain Marvel in the comic books right now, but I'm going to keep calling her Miss Marvel. Because Marvel's always going to be that Kree soldier guy who banged a Skrull. So yeah, just going to leave that there. And again, if my mother's listening to this episode too, which I found out she listened to the past episode, and first thing out of my mouth was, I'm sorry. So again, I'm sorry.
Which is funny. I've been very tamed on this episode. So hopefully, I'm trying to tone things down. Well, I don't want to bring look. I'll just say a lot of shit has happened to me, and I have no idea why this shit keeps happening to me. So I'm trying to not be bitter on podcasts. I was all like, I just need like group therapy apparently, or something like that. But I don't want to bring people down on my problems. We're talking about comic books. People want to be upbeat, especially this is released on the 24th of December. So hopefully, if you have to work that day, you'll get a little bit of an hour cut off of your time by listening to Kyle and I just talk about comic books. Speaking of Marvel stuff right now, so the Marvel Experience is here in Phoenix, Arizona, in Scottsdale. If you have gone to it, please hit us up. I would like to know your opinions on it, because all I've seen is some mixed reviews from Facebook posts, and a lot of people are saying it sucks and they do not like it. I don't know what they like about it. Apparently the only thing they like about the Marvel Experience is apparently there's a ride that you can do that's like a CGI, kind of like you sit down and you kind of go through something while things are coming at you, kind of like a Universal Studios ride of some sort. But other than that, they said the entire experience is pretty much useless and pointless. A big disappointment apparently across the board. So I can't say for myself because I haven't gone there, and I don't know if I'm going to go there because I'm probably just going to go by myself, and that's just sad.
No,
because things did not work out for Steve.
Well, actually, I tell you what, I got a question for you. And this is a little off topic, but kind of there. I know you said you were having some troubles with some things. Did you guys ever figure out a name for your band yet?
No, we have not. We're still going through a bunch of stuff. One guy said he wanted to go as the Sentinels, but that was taken. I actually found a really good, clever name. I'm trying to remember it. I think it's like has something to do with the Anti-Justice League. I forget what it's called. Not the Injustice League, not like the team that Lex Luthor runs, like the actual. I guess it's like Earth 2, where like Superman actually kills like the Joker and then changes the whole.
This is gonna kill me now, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, but so far no takers on that, so I don't know what we're gonna go with.
I have our question for the week then. Maybe we'll get some responses, and maybe they'll help you guys out with that.
Well, that's the thing. We're comic book and nerds and video game nerds and stuff like that. So we did try to come up with something that was simple, that had nothing to do with that kind of stuff. And then we said, kind of screw it, and we kind of went ahead and said, let's try something with video games or comic books or Star Wars or anything like that. I mean, two of the ones that I have not thrown out yet was Weapons Malfunction. Another one was We Shot First, and then another one was just Rebel Scum.
Well, if anyone out there has any ideas for a nerdy band name, send it to us on our Facebook page. And yeah, if they ever become a hit and release a CD or something like that, we'll send you the copy of the CD. I don't know.
Yeah, I can do that. That's not a problem. But yeah, so we haven't come up with anything with that right now. So and then I know a lot of things are going on hiatus. So So yeah, so I'm trying to think. So yeah, so Marvel Experience, I guess it's on the fence right now. A lot of people saying negative things about it, but I would like to go and witness it for myself and then give a better kind of review. Because I usually like to go to things with an open mind. I don't know what people really are expecting, but I guess to expect what you're expecting. Good news is Guardians of the Galaxy is now out on Blu-ray and DVD and all that kind of stuff. Now, if you got a chance, which I'm hoping, I did ask for Christmas, so I don't know if I'm going to get it, but Best Buy was selling a great one where it actually comes with the mixtape with it. So
yeah, I tried going to Best Buy the day it came out to go get it, and they were sold out.
Yeah, so I have a feeling more disappointments coming my way.
But I picked it up. It was great. Watched some of the extras and whatnot. They got another great blooper reel in there. I don't know what it is, but I love Marvel blooper reels. They're just so funny. Some deleted scenes. Nothing really special in the deleted scene stuff. But overall, I mean, it was good. Watched the movie again the other night, and I still love that movie.
Also, that came out. It came out a while ago, but it's out. Is finally you can finally get your hands on the 1966 Batman full complete collection. That's finally out. So if you are looking for some holiday gifts, last minute, here's some nerdy things you can get like that. Also, don't forget all those kind of Disney Infinite figures, which I can't mention, but I did pick up two, one for my sister and one for my brother, because I was trying to figure out what to get them for Christmas, so I went with those two. I've yet picked up any of those for myself because I really want to get the game, but then I realized how much more my bank account's going to be nothing, just like what's happening with my Amiibos. Which also is a big problem right now because apparently 3 of the characters might be discontinued. Which is weird because I'm pretty sure Nintendo. This is what I have a feeling. This is my theory on it. Nintendo probably did not think these characters were going to be huge, and it turned out they were like, we're only going to make this many of them, and it'll be fine. Everyone, will, And then it turned out to be like the 3 hot selling ones, and their Nintendo was like, crap.
Well, it's only hot because you can't find them. And there's a lot of completionists out there who want to complete their collection, and they can't because they can't find them. Which really sucks because I went to Toys R Us like 2 days after they went out looking for Marth. They didn't have it, but I saw a villager. I should have just grabbed him, and I could have sold them for like $1 million and be rich right now.
Which is funny because I had no idea those ones were going to be hot, because when I went in looking for the game and I didn't get it, I ended up ordering off of Amazon.com because I wanted to get the thing with the controller and the connector and stuff like that. They actually had a bunch of Marths, a bunch of villagers, a bunch of Wii Fit trainers, and I was just like, well, I don't have the game yet, so I'm not going to pick these ones up. So I had no idea these things were going to be hot commodities. So I was just like, all right, So I mean, and even when I went back and finally got the 2 that I wanted, they still had those ones. And it was just funny because Marth really isn't like this is the funny part. Wii Fit Trainer, I like playing as her. Mm-hmm. I think she's got some good moves. I fucking hate the villager. He's the biggest fucking troll in the world. So fuck him and his stupid fucking horse he rode on. My apologies, Kyle's mom. And Marth, really have never been a fan of Marth, so I was like, why would I get this figurine? And then it turns out these are, huge, hot items, so it's just kind of like, wow. I mean, like, if you really want me to buy something, I guess, yeah, limited the production. But I guarantee, like, knowing Nintendo, I don't think they're gonna... Because the same thing happened actually with the adapter now. A lot of people bought up those adapters by themselves and started selling them for a lot of money. And I'm like, well, I'm not paying $70 for this thing where I can just buy, which literally went on to Amazon. They had a bunch of them, just bought that pack and got the game, the controller, and the adapter. So I'm like, okay. Only thing I will have to say, the biggest problem is I have one of those Wavebird controllers. That's a wireless controller for the GameCube. Does not work with the adapter. I was like, that's kind of a bummer.
Oh, before I forget, we didn't talk about the mid-season finale of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, let's dive right into that.
Yeah, not missing much. Let's see. So, basically, if you know, Agent Coulson, just a recap of the past season so far, Agent Coulson's been drawing weird scribblings everywhere, and come to find out it was a map of a city that was underground, out in Puerto Rico or somewhere out there in a place that I'll never visit. But it wasn't Tahiti, that much I do know. So they go check out the place, and I don't remember a lot of the details that happened to lead into it, but basically Sky was down there with I can't remember her name, but she's the girl that's always in the rose dress or whatever, and well, they activate this crystal thing that, the obelisk. They bring the obelisk down there. It activates, and these crystals come out, which any comic book nerd who is like an uber nerd like me will know it is the Terrigen Mist crystals that is from the Inhumans.
Say what?
Yep. So, basically, they activate and this wave of energy comes out and it affects the girl in the flower dress and Sky. They they turn to stone almost, and in the same room, I forgot to mention this, was one of the characters that everyone loves. I cannot remember his name to save my life right now.
We'll just call him John Jacobs.
See, I'm trying to think. Fuck. But basically, as soon as he sees them turn to stone, he roundhouse kicks the obelisk and it breaks and scatters everywhere. Well, part of the fractals of the obelisk go into him, and then he turns to stone and dies, which kind of sucks because he was one of the favorite characters on the show. Right as he's turning to stone, Sky's eyes pop back out of the stone that she was in, and it turns out, and she sees him turn to stone and basically die, but she gets so upset that she just starts moving this rock all around her and just breaks free from all the stone. So it kind of shows that she has the ability to control rocks or earth or whatever you want to call it. So she's an earthbender from Avatar. Last Airbender, not the Pocahontas Smurf people. Still have not seen that movie. But
I was I thought you were talking about the abomination that Shamalama Ding Dong created.
No, I've seen that, and I wish I hadn't. But I'm also referring to the actual cartoons.
Yes, no, the Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Legend of Korra, both great series. Check those out. Anyway, so she's rock bending, earth bending.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. So I'm not sure what's gonna lead up to that, but it looks like she. From what I've read, some people are saying that she is Quake from the comics, but it hasn't been officially confirmed. So, if you're looking to get her first appearance, I highly recommend getting it now, just in case. It was in Secret Warriors #1. It's got Nick Fury on it, and he's basically taking all these kids and training them to be S.H.I.E.L.D. agents or whatever. So, I highly recommend picking this up just in case this ends up happening, because that book will skyrocket in price. Maybe not skyrocket, but it'll definitely go up in price. So I definitely pick it up if you can right now.
Skyrocket inside, afternoon delight. Also, I will say this: Anchorman 2 is now on Netflix. It's free.
I have to go watch that.
No, it's free. I want my money back.
Wow,
it's bad. It is pretty. I mean, you can check it out if you want to, but do not Lower. It's worse than Daredevil.
You know that sentence means nothing to me because I kind of like the Daredevil movie.
It's worse than Batman Returns.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Because Batman Returns, I can actually sit and watch and take it for what it is. This one, I didn't even get that much through it. I had to stop. I was like, okay, I'm done with this. So, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., do you think they had a better mid-season finale than Arrow? They gave you a little bit more, or did they also kind of screw us at the end?
Well, I watched this literally right after the mid-season finale of Flash, so Flash was still kind of on my mind, but they killed off a character at the end of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I'm a little upset, even though there's been rumors that he was spotted on the set of Age of Ultron, so he might be in there, I don't know, but honestly, my trophy for mid-season finale greatness goes to The Flash.
Oh, okay. Sounds pretty much good. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that ended comic book-wise. I don't think there was. I think that pretty much wraps it up. Of course, next year we're going to get every show is coming back, I believe, sometime late January, maybe early February, depending on how their schedules are. Of course, we're also going to get finally the introduction to Agent Carter. And pretty much this whole, I would have to say, with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter, this is pretty much everything coming down to getting everything ready for the Age of Ultron. So everyone's looking excited for that. Of course, that's one of the big movies that's coming out next year, Marvel-wise. I'm trying to remember if there was anything else Marvel-wise coming out, or was that it?
I think that's about it for right now. I mean, besides the Ant-Man and Fantastic Four.
That's right. Ant-Man comes out in July, and then Fantastic Four. Oh, of course, Benedict Cumberbatch has been made Doctor Strange, an upcoming movie that will be hitting. I don't know when it's going to be hitting. Of course, when he finally gets introduced into the Marvel Universe. I think you were the one that told me this, that hopefully that somebody walks up to them and says, like, no shit, Sherlock, and it's Iron Man and Doctor Strange. They both turn and look at him.
No, I don't think that was me that said that, but that'd be freaking hysterical. But I will say this, that there's rumors that he will be in Age of Ultron as like a doctor helping people in the city from the attacks of Ultron.
Very cool, very cool. So we'll look forward to that. Also, the Ant-Man movie. We'll see if Ant-Man can turn me around. We'll see if Ant-Man's that.
You want me to go see the movie first before you go? See
No. I'm still gonna see it. Like, it's not like I'm just saying. Like, my expectations. Like, I'll put it this way: it's gonna be like Thor. Like, I don't have a problem with Thor, but my expectations for the Thor movie, I really didn't have that high expectations, and I came out going, that was actually really good. I mean, they did a good job with it. Ant-Man's kind of the same way. Ant-Man is a character. I mean, literally, if I can go into that movie theater and I come out going like, holy crap, Ant-Man is amazing, then Marvel knows what the hell they're doing. Because to me, Ant-Man is a character that I could be like, to me, he should just be called Piss Ant-Man. But we'll see what happens, and we'll see if everyone can bring that down. Kyle, do you have anything, I guess we should talk about this before we go. Any high hopes or anything big or things you want to change or are looking forward to in 2015? Because that's when we come back.
Anything I want to change? I'd like to change Spider-Man's ownership from Sony to Marvel. That's about it.
Oh, you're right. Let's talk about that before we head out with all of our New Year's resolutions and all that bullcrap. Now, you're the one that told me now Marvel has gone into talks with Sony of a negotiation of something like, it's to me, what this sounds like, it almost sounds like a divorce. Parents right now, they're trying to figure out who gets custody of Spider-Man. Like, it's like, we get him this year, you guys get him next year, kind of thing. So break this down to us, because I know you're the one that pretty much was following the story more closely than I was, probably. And by that, I mean you found an article.
Kind of article, whatever, but I ain't gonna nitpick that. Okay, so it kind of just sounds like basically Marvel wants Spider-Man, but Sony's not gonna give him up, so they're trying to do a thing where, like, Marvel will produce the movies and whatnot like that, but then Sony gets a profit of, like, the merchandise and all this other stuff, so it comes out winning for everyone, I guess. But what Marvel wants to do is introduce Spider-Man into Captain America 3, where both Tony Stark and Captain America are fighting over Spider-Man. Tony tries bribing him with a suit.
Mm-hmm.
Cap shows up and is like, we want you with us and all that. But from the sound of things, it doesn't sound like it's going to happen anymore. But I kind of wish it would, just because it wouldn't be Civil War without Spider-Man.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's still hopes. Not going to give up all hope, but there's not much hope there. Put it that way.
It's
and
true.
then I guess after that, what's that?
No, I said yeah, it's true. Which is also a bummer because I remember even Hugh Jackman, he stressed interest of he's like, I want to be in an Avengers movie. I want to be part of this Marvel universe that's going on. Like he wants to play Wolverine and that kind of stuff as well. Which kind of sucks when it's like an actor wants to do it, but he can't do it because he's contracted with another thing. So
Right. Well, and then the other thing was after the Civil War thing, they're going to go back and reboot the Spider-Man trilogy, which a lot of people are like, why reboot it? Just reuse the Andrew Garfield thing and just let it go its course. Because, honestly, I'm sick of this whole Spider-Man origin story, but apparently they're eyeing the guy from the Percy Jackson series to play Peter Parker, which is not a bad pick. I can see it, but I liked Andrew Garfield. I thought he was great.
No, and I'll agree. I had no problem with him either. And the thing is like as much as like when the first Spider-Man came out, I did like the first version of Spider-Man that we got.
Right.
Of course, we're not gonna the third movie. It's not the greatest movie, but it is what it is, what we got. And then, of course, we realized it was 10 years when they decided to reboot Amazing Spider-Man again. You're like, okay, I see what your Sony's doing. You're trying to keep the rights. You got to keep things going and stuff like that. But, like, to reboot it this soon, which really sucks because as much I'd rather them have done the reboot with Marvel, with Amazing Spider-Man, because there's so much more stuff they could have done. Putting him in the Marvel Universe, and they have to reboot it now because they're like, okay, we have to get a new actor, we have to retell the story, which is stupid because to me it's like, technically you don't have to retell the story because, I mean, if you look at the original Batman movies, when you did Batman Forever, threw us a new Batman, and you didn't have to really give us a backstory. We kind of already knew. We just that's the weird part. We just kind of accepted, like, okay, he's Batman. It's not like we were like, wait a minute, kind of thing. I'm pretty sure you could kind of do the same thing with this if you wanted to if you, for whatever reason, you need to get rid of Andrew Garfield, which I don't know why, but okay. But if you need a new person in there, just make it the Amazing Spider-Man 3. And do this bullshit kind of thing that people usually do. You just be like, I've been Spider-Man for like 2 years now. You wouldn't have thought that a radioactive spider biting me would give me all these powers, and you could just have him literally like swinging through the city, doing like a little narrative in his head of like where everything is up to date, and then just boom, just go.
Or screw Peter Parker, go with Miles Morales.
I was curious if they wanted to do that too, like just give us a brand new
go with Miles Morales. Just go with that route instead. You get a whole new fan base for Spider-Man, guaranteed because of his race, and everyone's happy. Probably, maybe, probably not.
You know what? I would not have a problem with that. As much as I love the Peter Parker Spider-Man, but I'm like, you own all these Marvel universes. Why not throw a different Spider-Man in there? I mean, guess what? When we're going to get a new Captain America probably after what's going to probably happen at the end of the Civil War movie. We're going to get the Falcon probably as Captain America like he is right now.
Or Bucky.
Yeah. There's all these kind of things. I'm like, you have to realize this is what happens in the comic book area. Like, you're allowed to do this. Like, I don't think why movie companies should sit there and go, oh, no, we can't do this. It's like, technically, I mean, I hate to break it to you. X-Men Days of Future Past, they kind of showed you what you can do. They're like, we're not going to reboot the franchise. We're just going to throw in this, do time travel, and fix everything, kind of thing.
There you go. And another thing, though, if they do decide to do the whole reboot for the Spider-Man franchise, just at least do this. Have Peter Parker swinging through New York City. Next thing you know, alien invasion. Have it tie in with the first Avengers movie. Have him in like Central Park or something, because New York City's huge. 5 superheroes cannot cover the entire New York City area. I don't care if Hawkeye's up on some apartment building. He's not going to see all the way out there. So, there's other superheroes out there that should have been fighting. So, show like a quick, brief scene of Spider-Man in Central Park or something, just swinging his webs, fighting the Chitauri, something. It'll tie in with everything, and I guarantee you the fan base will be freaking happy.
Or you can do a great joke where Spider-Man's running late and he's trying to get downtown to stop like I think this was in the Ultimate comic book series. He's trying to get downtown. He finally gets there, and all of a sudden you see it was the Rhino that was destructing like downtown, like New York City or whatnot. But then it's Iron Man who catches him, and everyone's like applauding like Iron Man, like, "Hey, Iron Man," everything that. And then he kind of just lands, just goes, "You know what? If I would have done this, no one would have been here to cheer me on. I would just be getting yelled at." You know, like, why'd you let this happen, Webhead, and stuff like that. But a guy shows up in a metal suit, and everyone's all like, yay, woo, and stuff like that. Like, even just throwing in stuff like that, we'd be like, oh, shit, there's Iron Man. Like, yeah, that's right. This all takes place in the same universe.
Mm-hmm. And the same city.
Exactly, yeah. That's, like, the biggest problem. Like, really?
Yeah, it's like Captain America 2. Where the hell was Tony Stark during that whole thing?
That's exactly. Like, there's all these kind of things. I understand, like, you're slowly doing it and contracts and all that kind of crap, but, you know, just give us what we want, Marvel.
I mean, Thor took place on Asgard, and Captain America still made a cameo.
Ah, touche. Yeah, how do you like them apples? But yeah, so hopefully things work out for Spider-Man and his parents. I don't know.
Alright, so back to the original question. Any New Year's resolution stuff for you?
You know what? I don't know anymore. Every year since the last 2 years, I try to say, you know what, next year's going to be better. It's going to be different. I'm going to do stuff. I might just say fuck it and just not care anymore and just start being a dick.
Sounds like a plan, Tony.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to focus more on me, and I'm the center of the universe, probably. Yeah, I think I'm going to legally change my name to Tony Stark, then.
Sounds like a plan. Grow the beard. Oh, you kind of already got
that. Yeah, I got to let it grow out a little bit more, and then I'm going to shave it exactly to that. So.
Yeah. Apparently now I got to dye my hair blonde and just be clean-shaven all around.
Yeah, so get on that. Get on that, Captain. Happening. Make it happen, Captain.
Oh, that's gonna be the catchphrase now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up. Unless you got anything you want to say before. I will say this though. It's the holiday season, so just be safe. I'm not saying don't have to worry about getting crazy parties. I'm like, go crazy parties, but just be safe about it, everybody. Cops are going to be out in full force as usual and stuff like that. And I know they're just doing their job, but just be smart about it. Just look, if you're way too drunk to drive, stay there, call a cab, get an Uber. You know, just be safe, everybody. We hear so many of these tragic things that happen during the holiday season, and they shouldn't happen because we do have control over it. So, like I say to everybody, I'm like, just be safe, just be responsible. And just and everybody have a great Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, holiday, whatever you celebrate. Enjoy it, friends and family, and also have a fun and safe New Year's.
Agreed. Or just do what I do and don't drink at all.
Oh, you don't drink?
No, I don't like the taste of alcohol.
Oh, huh. Touche.
Yeah.
Do you just tell people you're allergic to it?
No, I've tried it many times, and I'm just like, nope, still don't like it.
Oh, no, I just meant, like, if, like, people try to get on your, like, because for some reason, like, I'll accept it, be like, that's fine, you don't like the taste of alcohol, but some people just are dicks, and they'll just be like, oh, what's the matter, and stuff. You just be like, I'm allergic to it. I mean, one girl I dated, she was actually allergic to champagne, so it was just very, very bizarre.
Use that excuse if people start giving me peer pressure. I'll just be like, you know what, fine. I'll come out and say I'm allergic to beer, alcohol, whatever.
Yeah, just say you're allergic to alcohol. It's a legitimate thing. Yeah. Stuff like that. Of course, don't tell them to listen to the podcast then, because then they'll realize it's just a long ruse.
No, well, if they're dicks like that, they're probably not going to listen to the podcast.
I will say this, though. You are Captain America. Look at you, all noble, not drinking and stuff like that. I am such a Tony Stark. Because I love me booze. And I would be the kind of person that would drink and get into my vehicle, into my suit, and just fly off.
And yet my Twitter handle is Deadpool, so, you know.
Well, I would say get cancer and destroy your body and then have a healing factor and then go insane.
One step at a time,
Okay. All right, well, Kyle, I guess don't forget to check us out on the Twitter at LongboxCast. Kyle, if they were looking for you on Twitter, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Deadpool_Ranger.
You can find me on Twitter at Stephen Mooney Jr. Also, don't forget to check out our Facebook page. Give us a like because we still have that contest going on. So hopefully next year we'll be at 100 and we can finally give stuff away. If not, Kyle and I are just going to take those comics and we're going to burn them in front of you people. I'm just kidding, Kyle. We're not going to do that. But yes, if you want to burn them, we can. I just didn't want you to be like, I just bought these with money from...
You can get those for like $1 each. I don't care.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I don't know. But yeah, just go ahead and give us a Facebook page like at www.facebook.com/longboxcast. And Kyle, take us away with those magical words, because these are the last times you'll say these words this year.
I'm going to cry now. Alright, just clear the throat. Longboxcast. Too many issues for a short box.
We'll see you next year, gang. This has been another fine production of the 4i Radio Network. For more great shows, check out www.4iradio.com. Kyle.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Batman smells.
Oh, that's not nice. Well, you know what did happen? The Joker did get away.
And I did hear Robin actually laid an egg.
He did. He named it Robert.
Yeah. After the credit specials.
Yes, it's like a Marvel movie, kids, except you're very disappointed after this. Goodbye!
Bye.